All right. Hey guys, welcome back. So, those of you who were with me just a few minutes ago, I began this single storyline. We got two cards that had just shuffled out, and unfortunately, my dog is on patrol tonight. It's that time of the night where there's lots of creatures out and about, and he hears them all and thinks it's always his job to protect. And while I appreciate that about him, it also is very disruptive. So, my apologies. I thought, let me just not do that one live, and I'll pop right back on once he's done his patrol, and then we can move forward with um, peaceful silence. So here we are. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in with those same two cards that had shuffled out, and we have connection, which talks about possibly someone who I was suggesting maybe it's a person who's um, feeling like they're they're losing a little bit of their privacy, because the following card is nakedness, and it's just talking about vulnerability. And so, interestingly enough, when we combine um, maybe this person's becoming more famous. Maybe they're realizing that they live in a smaller town than they thought, or there's a bigger network of people that know more about them. It's like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. I'm dating this person whose cousin is that, whose uncle is that, Now, this is a singles reading, so it's probably not going to be about someone who is dating because it is considered a single individual. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a prospective date on the horizon, and it's like, no, I went to school with their cousin who I know had this and that happen, and they know all this about me. Well, however we look at this, there could be a sensation of like, oh, I don't want all my secrets revealed. I feel really too exposed. I feel too seen. Queen Libra the Empress, thank you for being here, beauty. How are you tonight? um, but I like the fact that our character is still looking at connectedness, as it is really important to stay connected, and there's a lot of strength in being connected. But we have a King of Wands. Hold on, this King of Wands is like, they're jazz. They are so happy. I am wonderful, Queen Libra, and I'm glad to hear you are too. Hey Tyler, thank you for being here, hon. This King of Wands pointing up to the sky like that, saying that they're in this empowered energy. Oh, we have Justice card. We got a Queen of Pentacles. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and say this. We have too many people that know our lead character's business, is how our lead character is feeling. And it has to do with someone is speaking on behalf of a person that our character already knew. They might be saying, oh, I heard what so-and-so did to you. That was, oh, you didn't deserve that. And they're kind of like, excuse me, I didn't tell you those bits and pieces. Where the heck are you getting all this information from? The only thing is, whomever this is who could be coming in proclaiming something, like, I don't like how so and so treated you. That was some BS. That was some, blah, blah, blah. They might mean it in the best of ways because they actually have like heartfelt support for our single character. But our single character might be like, where's the nearest ladder so I can climb out of this room? I do not want to be in this conversation right now. This Queen of Pentacles may feel like they are, and this could be a masculine or a feminine, but I'm inclined to say right now, this is our lead character who's feeling extremely vulnerable, but they may come across as someone who tends to be like a really warm, open, giving individual. And so people perhaps trespass just a little bit on that comfort zone with whomever this character is. I mean, to me, this is like she wants to escape this whole conversation. When we start out with the energy of like, okay, connectedness can be great, but it can also make us feel very exposed. And now we get this message of someone who means the best, but they are coming in. Maybe they're talking about it real loud too, and they're talking about whatever was not fair, what was not right. But they seem to want to protect our lead character, but our lead character is just not having any of it. They would rather no one know what the circumstances were. It doesn't even matter if they're on my side. I still don't want them knowing this. Certainly don't want them walking around spouting off about what happened. The less people that know my business or know what happened in my world or to myself, the better. Like, that's the attitude of our character here. And yet it kind of feels like they just had their whole life put on display, even though it was probably really well meaning. So I can definitely see how that would make a character be like, I just want to get out of this conversation. So this loudmouth King of Wands who has a good heart will just shut up. It's like, stop talking. That's what it looks like to me. Oh my gosh, serious. Knight of Swords. If I get out of here really fast, maybe they'll swallow those words and I won't have to hear anymore. I feel like she wants to split and she just hopes that they, swallow the sword, meaning don't say anything else about it. Take the context clues, King of Wands, and quit talking about my business. Quit approaching me and trying to talk to me about my own life. You haven't been invited in to do that. Like, that's kind of the attitude I'm getting from our single character here. They would like this person to stop talking, or they want to get away from this person because they hope that they'll stop talking. Let's talk about that King of Wands, though, because the King of Wands is in the upright. They are not trying to be a jerk. They're not, oh gosh, King of Cups in the reverse. They might be someone who, they may not be very sensitive. They're fiery and they're warm, but they're not necessarily emotionally astute. They could be a little bit dense, like a big old hunk of granite. Like, they don't realize that there are just certain things you don't walk up to somebody and, it's like walking up to a person and like picking off a scab off their arm. You don't do that. You just flat out don't do that. And, there's a certain amount of emotional intelligence that people need to have. And I don't think that this character has it, but they don't seem to be a bad sort. They just seem to not know how to hold their tongue. Tell me more about this King of Wands. I'm only chuckling because I'm like groaning, like, oh, please stop. Page of Wands, Page of Cups. Unfortunately, they are also somebody who, they're very sharp. They see things that go on. I feel like, okay, we are describing a character who would be great in a film. They are the kind of person that, you'd love them, but they'd have no tact whatsoever. They'd be the kind of character that walks in and, like without any ounce of grace, oh, somebody farted. Did you have the pepperoni pizza? Because I did too. Oh, I had the worst gas ever last night. And they would just be rude and just upfront about stuff. And that's not calling out whoever farted at a dinner party is really just not the greatest way to approach things. But they don't care, and they're very lovable and very kind about it. And they see things that other people either would overlook politely, and they're not polite. They're real and they're gritty and they're warm and they're not judgy is the crazy part, but they also are like a total stump when it comes to emotional intelligence about how to be graceful. But what's crazy is they serve a really good purpose. They speak some truth, and maybe even truth that needs to be heard. Like this situation, our lead character seems to feel very vulnerable, very exposed, and like they just want to escape this well-intentioned person. But in truth, this well-intentioned king, as much as it may not come in a very tidy little package or a very politically correct package, the things that they've witnessed, that they see, that they think about, and that they have to say, they could have some really important truths that maybe would behoove our lead character to hear them, because it feels very supportive. What is this important truth that they may have to convey? With that Page of Cups, it's something about Eight of Wands. It's something about conversation that might actually help set our lead character free. This could be, now they themselves might need to make some kind of apology for not mentioning something sooner, but I just feel like this character cares a lot. This king cares a lot about our lead character, and as much as she doesn't want them blurting stuff out, something that they have to say, she may need to hear, because it will set her free. It'll let her fly away from this trouble, and she might even get to the point where, I don't need to feel embarrassed. I don't need to feel like I want to escape. Why should I hope that nobody knows this, or nobody knows the pain I've gone through, or that nobody knows the drama I endured. I don't have to be ashamed at all. I feel like they're going to say something to her that she actually needs to hear. He, doesn't matter. I don't read for genders. Knight of Cups, Two of Wands, Knight of Wands. I got to say, whatever this is, some truth that they want to convey to her in their very clumsy way, not only might it set her free from whatever the situation was, and admittedly, she could have been dealing with a player and maybe it was a relationship at a distance or something like that. Maybe this is a friend of a friend who knows something about that person. The bottom line is, I think that this King of Wands has something so profoundly true to say to her, which might be something as simple as, you did not deserve to be with that dirtbag friend of mine. Oh, yeah, they're my friend, but they're a dirtbag. You are so classy. You are so attractive. You never should have had to deal with them. And this could be something that absolutely warms her heart. Sometimes bumping into a person who is kind of point blank and gregarious can be exactly what she needed, even though she wanted to avoid it. It's something that opens up her heart. It's something that makes her see a situation in a very different way. It's something that sets her free. And I feel like it's, in a strange way, this King of Wands could even wind up endearing themselves to her. As clumsy as they are, this could be kind of a funny start of a romance. The very person we would be like, oh gosh, no, I don't want to hear them. I don't want them coming toward me. They always say the wrong thing, only to discover, no, this person actually, they say something true every single time. They don't really care if somebody doesn't want to hear it. They're still going to call out the thing in the room that maybe actually needs to be said. I don't feel like they're very polite, but I feel like it's maybe just what she needed to hear, the truth, because it definitely warms her heart. I like this person after all. It's they're a little rough around the edges, but I kind of like that. We got the Hanged Man, we got the Lovers. I think this is an unexpected potential romance. I really feel like this is an unexpected but potential romance. She may be considering this character in a light she hadn't seen them in before. Perhaps, sometimes people grow on us. Sometimes we don't even realize how attractive they are until we have an experience with them, until we have an exchange that sets a different tone. I like the fact that she's seeing them in a different light. She's contemplating, is this person supposed to be in my life in a different capacity? Could this person actually be a lover that I would choose for myself? They certainly seem to be a very different quality of person than what she's used to, because at first she wants to escape them. They make her feel vulnerable. They make her feel very seen. And sure enough, this character is someone who really looks closely. They see what they see, and they're not shy about announcing it. Maybe she needs somebody like that, someone who really sees her and sees her life and sees who she is and calls it out, because they're actually doing it in a beautiful way. I wonder if this has been a shy person, if our lead character has been one of those that works really hard behind the scenes, doesn't really want a lot of fanfare. And I'm wondering if they can recognize right out of the gate what a diamond she is. And if that's the case, who wouldn't want someone in their life that can see their worth and their value? Again, that King of Wands, they were in the upright. They were warm. They were loving. They were also very bold. But if she was kind of shy and, runs from that kind of attitude, maybe that's exactly what she's needed in her life, is somebody that really will tell her how fantastic she is, tell her how much of a gem she is. This might have been really necessary, because it definitely, like, they were pointing something out that she wasn't ready to discuss, but it was something that was unfair. It's like, why are you the one doing all the work and never getting the credit? And she might have just been like, oh God, that's so embarrassing. Don't say that. That's going to piss off somebody else. But she knows it's true, just like he does. Him, her, it doesn't matter. I kind of like the fact that this character needed somebody maybe to pop into their world. It doesn't mean they have to be in a relationship, although they're kind of wondering what it would be like to be with somebody that's this bold, this passionate, this just kind of like hits a nail on the head, doesn't really care if somebody wants to hear the truth or not. They're still going to say it. I wonder if she's starting to recognize, dang, what would it be like to be in somebody's arms like that? This feels warm. This feels like she's kind of seeing somebody in a different light. Instead of feeling vulnerable that someone can look right into her and see what she's really made of, I think she's starting to realize that's a gift. That's not a gift she's had before, from what I can see. I like it. I hope that she gives this person a chance, but let's go ahead and change decks and ask that, shall we? What's going to happen here? Is she going to give this person Two of Cups in the reverse? She still feels like this person is so foreign to her. She doesn't feel like, oh, they mirror my soul. She's kind of like, this person is unlike anything I've ever known. We saw that with the Lovers card, really, because the Lovers card can be a choice, but it can be Gemini energy, so it can be the, like complete opposite and yet twin energy. I feel like she's not saying, I think this person is my perfect match. Oh, we've got a Seven of Swords, and we've got the the Judgment card here. They are really making her think about things. She's trying to be honest with herself. Like, have I misjudged this person? Was I lying to myself thinking that I don't want to be around a person who is so gregarious and so truthful and so kind of bold? Because I think I'm attracted to it, but they're not anything I've been accustomed to before. So where's my measuring stick to determine if this is good for me or not? I don't really have a way to judge because I've never met one like this before. But I'd be maybe lying to myself if I said I'm not attracted, I'm not intrigued, because there is something about this. I think this is just very new for this character. I think this is not the kind of person that they've ever met. So it's a lot. It's almost like sensory overload. Like wow, okay, my circuit board is being like a little bit too heavily hit. That's a lot of energy to take on, and I don't know how to handle this person just yet. Justice card. But she's really thinking about whatever they said to her with that Justice card that we saw earlier. I don't know where I've buried that card at this point. Whatever they said to her about something was not right, she deserved better. They might have really said something about how attractive they found her. They might have point blank asked her out, and she, with that Knight of Cups card, she might have realized that she wanted to say yes to them, even though it's kind of like, wow, if I don't give somebody a chance just because I'm unfamiliar with them, when I'm feeling this interest in them, then wouldn't I be doing them wrong? They approached me and they said that I deserved better. They actually have treated me better, so why am I going to turn them down just because I haven't met somebody like them before and I don't really have a reference point? Maybe I should just see. I kind of like this. I can understand her trepidation on all of this. Like, yikes, I've never met someone like this. They're bold, they're gregarious, they're all those things, but they also say some things that are warm and wonderful and true. I don't know. I think she can give this person a chance. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love to you guys. All right, I'm going to jump on over and do a bunch of other zodiacs now. So I will see you guys in those zodiacs next. John Little, Aparna, set us a fire in my soul. Thank you guys for being here. Mirabuka, thank you for being here. Hey, Sarah J. All right, you guys. I'll see you in the next. Bye.